Okay, the lighting might go a bit weird because they're setting up for what we do. Oh, Exterity is next. We're here with Andy Lewis. Andy, nice to see you.
Nice to see you too.
Bumped into you at the Nicola De Main show.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Tell us what you're doing at Fashion Week and tell us all about the new single and the new album.
Well, thank you very much. I'm here at Fashion Week checking out Nicola De Main. I know a lot of her work through reputation, but I'm going to have some practical experience of her work a bit later on because she's designing my wife-to-be's wedding dress, which is, I have no idea what it looks like, but I've seen little swatches of material and things, and if it's anything like the clothes that I've just seen, it's going to be amazing. Although the see-through stuff, she might have to dress up and put a woolly on or something because it's a bit, you know, it's going to be October. You don't know what the weather's going to be like. So, but very, very good. I know Nikki through her other half, Rich Mitchell, who plays the drums for a band called Dogs.
Excellent band.
A very, very good band indeed, who I had the pleasure of working with for a couple of years, doing their back line and driving them around and stuff like that. And yeah, and it's partly due to that connection that I got to know Paul Weller, who I've just released a single with, and I find out today if it's gone in the charts or not, and it's all very exciting. So today is sort of like started off well, and it should continue very well indeed. Yeah.
It's going to be a great day for you, I'm sure, Andy. Tell us about the single. How did you come to be doing a collaboration? Who wrote the words? What was it like working with him? And how did you come up with that? Is that kind of modern northern style stomper of a track? Well,
that's the sort of music I like, is sort of modernist rewrites of northern soul things. I really like that kind of energy and that kind of thing. So the first album I did, £1 Billion Project, was kind of like a bit like that. And Paul Weller had a copy because I'd got Reg King from The Action to sing a couple of tracks, and Paul Weller is like the biggest Reg King fan you've ever seen in your life. So when he discovered that I was the person responsible for that on the tour that we were doing, I was just sort of grubbing around on the stage plugging wires in and stuff. He said, oh blimey, you did £1 Billion Project. Oh, it's brilliant, it's a really good album, that. I really, really like that. If you ever do any demos for your next thing, you know, just let us have a listen. So I let him have a listen to the demos for the next album, and at the end of the tracks that were kind of finished, there were a few unfinished instrumentals and things, and just before Christmas he phoned me up in the middle of the night saying, oh, I love it, it's this one track, it's like, it's got this sort of brass thing going on in it, I really want to do it, I've come up with some words for it, and you know, it's like, can I sing them to you now? So he's like singing it down a phone at sort of like midnight on a Sunday. I was about to go to bed, and anyway I thought, okay, that's great, Paul, let's meet up in the new year. Anyway, half an hour later the phone goes again, and he's like, yeah, I'll just come up with a few more. He's like, I've got, I try to be lonely, la 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 la. So I thought, okay, obviously needs a bit of work, let's get together in the new year when we've sobered up a bit. So we did, and we finished the words off in the studio. He went off and recorded a guide vocal, and then we were listening back to it thinking, this could do with some real brass on it, this could do with a bit more meaty drums. So we phoned up Jack O'Peak, his old sax player, and then Don Glover, who plays trumpet for Incognito, and a friend of mine called Michelle Michalski, who plays sax on a lot of the things that I do, put a little brass section together, and that sounded great. And we thought, well, what it really needs is some real drums. So we got Steve Craddock from Ocean Colour Scene down to play the drums. He's usually a guitarist, but he's not a bad drummer. So we got it all together, and it was all rather good fun. And you know, at the end of it, we all went out and had a meal and came back and listened to it, and it sounded great, and that was that.
So, are you trying to be lonely, or is it lonely? What's the title?
It's called Are You Trying to Be Lonely, but everyone just sort of shortens it to lonely because that's what you do when you're sort of like sending messages to people on, you know, websites.
And that's available now to download online, and you can also buy it in the actual physical real shops.
You can buy it in your actual proper record shops in the old-fashioned way, on a 7-inch or a CD, and you can download it from a number of places, including iTunes and whippet.com, if you're into that download thing.
And what's the name of the album? When's it out?
Well, the new album will be called You Should Be Hearing Something Now, and it's out on the 8th of October, and it's got collaborations from Paul Weller, obviously, Andy Paulak, who's a singer-songwriter from the 80s who people might remember, Dave J, who sung so brilliantly on the last album that I did, and Andy Ellison from John's Children's back in for another song, and these two amazing girls that I've discovered, Karina Grayson, who's an amazing sort of disco soul singer, and Claire Nicholson, who is this, I don't know, a cross between Kirsty MacColl and Dusty Springfield.
Hang on, it's gone a bit dark.